To talk about the future of investing in mobility, I'm happy to invite Matthieu de Chanville, the Deputy Head Alliance Ventures, Renault-Nissan-Mitsubishi Alliance.
Good afternoon, I said. I'm really happy to be here at EcoMotion Tel Aviv in this vibrant startup ecosystem. Last January, at the CES in Las Vegas, we launched Alliance Ventures to invest in and build partnerships with startup companies. Our mission at Alliance Ventures is to bring on board new technologies and businesses for the Alliance to accelerate in its delivery of mobility solutions for all. So we have a $200 million a year investment capacity to invest in next generation technologies and mobility services that have the potential to strengthen and reshape mobility for now and tomorrow. This fund will be replicated over for the 5 years to come, summing up to up to a $1 billion investment by 2022. We have funding contributions from the three shareholders, Renault, Nissan, and Mitsubishi, 40% each from Renault and Nissan, Mitsubishi investing the remainder 20%. Now, some of you may be familiar with our fund, but I will explain the background, which reflects well the open innovation approach that we want to have at Renault, Nissan, Mitsubishi. But first, let me start off telling you a little about the Alliance so that you can understand what really sets us apart. So when we talk about the Alliance, we talk about the world's largest and most successful automotive alliance in the world. Started almost 20 years ago between Renault and Nissan, with Mitsubishi added last year. In 2017, we sold 10.6 million vehicles around the world through 3 companies with 10 different brands across 200 different markets. We have more than 470,000 employees around the world. As you know, we invested early on also in electric vehicles. And so far, we are the biggest seller of electric vehicles with a total of, the number is wrong here, it's above 583,000 cars sold, electric vehicles cars to date. We also, it's important to say, we'll have invested over the course of our strategic plan 2017-2022, so 6 years, more than 50 billion euro in R&D, a significant portion of which is dedicated to next generation mobility. And of course, as long-time industry players, the breadth of our product lines, growing and scaling resources, mass market production, nurturing commercial contacts are also strengths of the Alliance. So it was just to set the scene on who we are. Now, once I said that, we know that you may have past experiences with corporate venture capital funds and may be thinking, okay, another corporate VC from another big corporation. Fair. Let me tell you why we think Alliance Ventures is different. So first, our governance and engagement approach sets us apart, we think. To ensure maximum agility, we created Alliance Ventures as a separate legal entity headquartered in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam, off balance sheet. We have a small investment committee that makes its own decisions. We will ensure an agile decision-making process that is compatible with the pace of startups. We consider it's an absolute requirement. Our goal is to grow startups we invest in by giving them access to strategic insights, assets for testing, for prototype, benches, and also market access. And of course, an opportunity for longer-term investment, for subsequent investment as a startup grows. A point of proof of this agility is that since our funds launched in January, so 4 months ago, we made 5 strategic investments in this period. And that's approximately the rhythm we count to have, let's say 1 investment per month. Mostly will be Series A, B between $5 and $20 million, I would say. Second point, the size of the fund. So in total, up to $1 billion. This is a rapidly changing world and markets, and the changes are plenty, are many. Many would say that this industry is undergoing more changes for the next 5 years to come than in the past 50. So no one knows for sure which technology will be the winners in the future. This is why, with the right resources invested in the right portfolio, we'll keep all the options open for the alliance, and the size of the fund will just allow us to do that with impact. Third, we think that we bring a specific partnership expertise to the fund. We know about partnerships a little. I mean, as I said, we started nearly 20 years ago as an alliance. So we know what win-win partnerships mean, what they are about. And here, I have a few messages that are very important for the startups, for the entrepreneurs. I think very, very important. First thing is there will be no exclusivities asked. Second, we will not employ crazy terms. So we will employ term sheets from the VC world, not standard corporate term sheets. So this is very strong commitment from us. Then I would say our process is also very clear after investment. Alliance Ventures will serve as the entry point to Renault, Nissan, and Mitsubishi, a sort of control tower. Each startup will be appointed a champion. A champion will be accountable for fostering the collaboration with our entities and for reducing the complexity of such a large organization for startups. And will be very official and very visible from the top management. So the idea is that they will guide startups through direct interaction with SMEs, with the functions, the business line, within the alliance companies when needed, when requested. So we'll be very attentive to our partners' needs. When I say partners, I mean the startups. And we will also grant them access to the global scope, scale, and expertise of Renault, Nissan, and Mitsubishi. Fourth, a key differentiator is also our geographic coverage and locations. We have teams in the major innovation hubs and also close to our member companies, HQ and R&D centers. So we have teams in Paris, Amsterdam, and Tokyo, but of course also in the Silicon Valley, in China, and of course now also in Israel. We had to be here. For us, it was obvious from the start. In each of these locations, we'll be searching for the right technologies for the future of mobility. Electric, connected, autonomous mobility services. Finally, we believe our team is also something that sets us apart. At the Alliance, diversity is really seen as a key strength. Within the full-time team of Alliance Ventures, we have 8 nationalities already, although the team is not that big, including an Israeli national based in the Silicon Valley. Our talents come from both worlds. Alliance Ventures is comprised of experts in finance and venture capital startups, but also from internal recruits with deep automotive industry expertise. A few examples, our team includes François Dossat, the head of Alliance Ventures. He's a former president of Nissan Brazil, and he has over 30 years of finance industry experience. So myself, with 20 years experience in tech and as mentor of startups. Christian Noski, that probably many of you know, who formerly was a managing director at BMW iVentures with over 10 years of experience in VC. Jean-Christophe Labarre, the former head of innovation of RCI Bank, the bank of Renault, just to name a few. But even more important maybe, and very unique to our model, on top of the permanent team of Allianz Ventures, we have set up a cross-functional team of 30 managers and directors from within Renault, Nissan, Mitsubishi's, all geographies, all functions. We have research, we have engineering, we've got production, we have production planning, marketing, sales, legal, even HR, manufacturing. And this group of highly talented people, the best performers, passionate, dedicate 20% of their time while they skip their regular day-to-day job, working with us. This will allow us to create strong ties with the operations that will help us foster collaboration for Allianz Ventures with the startups. And this is within this group that will appoint the champions that will be accountable for delivering the right collaborations with the startup we invest in. So I have no doubt that this model is quite unique, quite particular, the way we define it. To summarize, we believe we have built a fund that goes beyond investment, one that is designed to create a supportive ecosystem for the entrepreneurs through win-win partnerships that will help us shape the car and mobility of the future together. With that, I would like to open the floor to a few questions if we have time. Thank you. Yeah? How do we make it viable for startups that would require 10 or 15 years to develop their product? No, I'm not sure I got the question right.
Your timelines are 10 or 15 years. Startups don't look 6 months out, a year, right? How do you merge those development timelines in the industry with what's happening in the startup?
Okay. No, we really aim at accelerating the traditional cycle that we see in the automotive industry. Of course, depending on the activity and the domain of the startups, this will be an important challenge or it will not be. For example, in some areas dealing with customer journey or mobile apps, it's not an issue. But when it comes, of course, to putting into a car in production, you're right. We have cycles that are typically 6 or 7 years. So in that case, what is interesting is that we'll have the ability to push the startups we invest in stronger into the production plan and enforcing collaboration with those ones because we have skin in the game and because the very top management has validated the investments. So they should help shorten the cycle of integration of the product of the startup we invest in. Other question?
So you said you executed 4 deals in the last 4 investments over the last 4 months. That's very fast. What is it that you're doing that allows you to make those investments and those decisions so quickly? That's unusual for a big partner.
Okay, the way we organize is we have a dedicated venture team doing the regular due diligence, and we have set up the right organization to have quickly access to the best expert to assess the technology of a startup we consider to invest in. So that, plus the fact that we can very quickly mobilize our investment committee, as make rapid decisions. You give me the opportunity to give a flavor of the type of investment we can make. So we invested in 3 startups, and we completed our geographical footprint through 2 VC funds. So the 3 startups are, the first one is Ionic Materials. Ionic Materials is a Massachusetts-based startup which is working on developing polymers, so materials for next generation, also its state cobalt-free batteries for electric vehicle. Another example is Calray. Calray is a French-based startup developing microprocessors for massive parallel computing that will be useful for ADAS and autonomous vehicles. And the third one is a US company named Shift. It's an online marketplace for used cars. So you see 3 very different investments in different areas in which we want to accelerate. We invested also in a fund in China named Innovation Ventures, very strong in artificial intelligence, to learn about the Chinese ecosystem. And I will not say we have invested, but we have committed to invest, now it depends on our partner, to invest in Maniv, so the automotive dedicated seed fund here in Israel. Also to accelerate and to scout company from a very early stage in order to invest when they come to Series A or Series B rounds. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. I think the time is up. Thank you very much.